Okay, hello everybody. I see a lot of people from different countries. Welcome everybody. In this session, I will talk about a new ABP feature that comes with ABP 5.0 that's used to publish distributed events in a transactional manner. That was one of the most requested features, and it was not available in ABP. Now it works out of the box, and I will explain the feature first. Then I will show a quick demo to you. If I have time, I will also write some live code. So let's start from the problem for those who don't know or who are not aware of this problem. Okay, first of all, think a method like that. You are performing a database operation on a SQL Server database, for example, in a relational database that supports database transactions. Then you publish a distributed event to RabbitMQ, which is a different system. Then you're performing another database operation, then another event publishing. So the problem is that it's hard to make all this transactional. That means, for example, if you begin a database transaction before all the operations and commit these database transactions, your database operation 1 and 2 become transactional. That's easy. But the events are not included in that transaction. So that means, for example, if you fail in database operation 1, no problem. If you fail while publishing the event 1, then no problem, because it won't be published and the database operation will be rolled back because you are in a database transaction. But if you fail with the database operation 2, then the event has already been published. Then there is no easy way to roll back this event, or you may create a scenario to roll back the operation from the event pass, but it's not easy and straightforward. So if you fail in database, for example, all the operations succeed, and you can also get error while committing your database transaction. So 2 of the events will be published. So you may have a system with an inconsistent state. One partial solution can be performing all database operations first. Then just before committing database transaction, you may publish events altogether. That may partially solve the problem, but you can still have the problem if you cannot publish event 2, or you can, if you have an error while database transaction commit pass. So one solution to this problem is using the Outbox pattern. In this pattern, you just perform your database operations. Then you have a database table. You have a table in the database to save events, ongoing events, and you commit the transaction. In this case, no event published yet. Then you have a background worker. It reads the events, ongoing events, then publishes to the event pass separately in a background worker. And if it fails, it retries, and so on. So this is called Outbox pattern, and now available in the ABP framework as a built-in feature. So if I want to visualize the problem or the solution here, assume that microservice A is working with its own database, own local database, and microservice B has a separate database to work with its own application data. Then you want to publish an event that is consumed by microservice B. So here, ABP event bus takes the event, then sends to the message broker, and listens to that event and executes your handler in the microservice B. And here, the new Outbox and inbox pattern, we have also implemented the inbox pattern. I will mention that. For the Outbox, whenever if you enable this Outbox implementation, the event is actually saved into the database in the same transaction. then sent to the message broker via distributed via background workers. And also ABP handles reconnecting if the message broker goes down or there's a network problem. It can retry. It also supports distributed locking, which is used, for example, if you have multiple instances of microservice A in a clustered environment, for example, in a container, you scale to your application, for example, 2 instance or 10 instance. All this instance will try to send outbox message. The distributed locking ensures that only one instance of your application work with the outbox table in a time. So it solves the concurrency problem. In the receiver side, ABP doesn't immediately execute the handler if you enable the inbox option. It saves message first to the database, and in a background worker, it executes your event handlers one by one. This also ensures that the message is only executed one time, because a message broker sometimes may deliver the same message 2 times or maybe more than 2 times, because it may not get the acknowledgement message, and it may requeue the message, and you may accidentally execute the message more than one time. Inbox pattern ensures that it's executed only one time. So this pattern, in brief, solves all the transaction problem for distributed events. So I will show a demo. First of all, I will disable these new features, and we will see the problem. And then I will enable the new features with ABP 5. Then you will see that problems are solved. I have prepared 2 console applications to make easily demonstrated. I have a publisher application, a subscriber application. The publisher application just publishes a message, an event to the message queue. Then subscriber handles that event and shows on the console window. So we will see that the message is transferred from the application, publisher application, to the subscriber application. We have also, maybe it's small, you cannot see, but it's not so important. There is a shared library that contains the event classes. I will show the code, but first I will just run the demo. I'm first running the subscriber application. Actually, I can just run without debugging. Okay. This application listens the messages, and the publisher application in this demo, I will place an order with a product code and amount, and the subscriber application received an event related to that order. For example, I am entering a product code A01, then an amount. I can make it even bigger, like 2. You see that the order placed event is received by the subscriber application. I'm just placing a new order with an amount of 3, and you see that subscriber application is constantly receiving the events and writing on the console window. And I have a database with an orders table. When I place an order, it's saved into the database. Let me execute it, and I see that 2 rows in the database with the values I have entered. Okay, no problem here, but I have a business rule. If I can see the code. I have a code to demonstrate the problem. If the amount is greater than 5, I'm just throwing an exception. After placing the order and publishing the event, As the last operation, I'm just throwing an exception. So let's see what happens. Okay, entering a product code and amount of 7. Okay, just enter the place the order. You see that I have an exception here because it's greater than 5, the amount. But even if I have an exception, the order placed event is published, and the receiver application just received that event and execute the handler. That's a problem because actually the order is not saved in the database. Let's check the database, and you will see I have still 2 rows because order is not committed because the transaction is rolled back when I throw the exception. Okay, let's see the source code. Then I will enable the new ABP features, and we will see that the problem is solved. This code is very simple. It's just console application. I am entering a product code. Then I am entering an amount. Then I'm getting the data from the product service. Then creating an order and inserting to the repository. That saves the order to the database. But remember that there is a transaction here. It's a unit of work. That means if I throw an exception here, the transaction is rolled back. So then after placing order to the database, I'm just publishing an event. That event is order placed. I'm setting some parameters. Then I'm throwing an exception based on the condition. So if amount is greater than 5, this exception is thrown and the database operation is rolled back, but the event publishing cannot be rolled back because it's another system and RabbitMQ already received the event. So how to fix that? Actually, it's fixed by default with the ABP framework, but I especially disabled these new features. Whenever I publish an event, I can specify 2 parameters. The first one says that normally all events in the unit of work are published just before the unit of work complete. That means wherever you publish the event publish operation is done after all the database operations, just before the transaction commit. So if I enable this, which is default enabled by default, then the problem is solved. Let's see that. Closing the applications. Okay, I'm rerunning the subscriber application. See that I didn't enable Outbox yet. I will talk about that. Now I'm running the publisher application. Okay, here I enabled that ABP publishes events at the end of unit of work. That means after all the database operation completes and also after that exception is thrown. That means this exception, when the exception is thrown, then the event has not been published yet. Let's see. Placing a product, entering an amount. No problem, it's placed because it's lower than 6. Entering another order with 8. Now I'm getting an exception, cannot place order more than 5 products. You see that the subscriber hasn't received the event because it's not published. Even if I publish it before the exception, it's not published because ABP with the ABP 5 publishes all the events at the end of unit of work. Okay, that's fine, but it actually didn't use the Outbox yet. If I disable this line, then it uses the Outbox by default. Let's see how it works. Okay, closing the applications. And running the application again. Okay, right side is the subscriber. The left-hand side is the publisher application. I am just publishing a new order with amount of 3. You will see a slightly delay here because the event is saved in the Outbox table, and background worker is periodically checking the database, and maybe up to 1 second it may delay the event publishing. So you see that there is a log message here, found 1 event in the Outbox, and sending this Outbox from the background worker. I'm placing another order with amount 5. You see that there is a small delay, and I'm entering another order with 8 amount. I see that there is an exception here, and the receiver side hasn't received the event, and that's all that work as expected. When I check the database, in the there is an Outbox table. This is where events are stored until they are published to event bus. You see that it's empty now because ABP has published all the events and deleted from the queue. We have also an event box inbox table, but it is actually not used for this example. Let me check if I have time. Okay, Alper, I also want to demonstrate live coding to show usage of the inbox system. I think we have time.
Yeah, we have time, and you can go on.
Okay, you have already seen the order service. That's just the console application that is publishing events. And let me show how these patterns are enabled. This is the publisher side, and we have a shared folder which holds the order placed ETO. That's event transfer object, just my naming convention. There are some properties here, and also the subscriber application has a event handler, that's a distributed event handler of order placed ETO that writes all the information to the console. That's worked, and we already have seen the output. And also, if I check the anti-framework DB context, I see that 2 interfaces are implemented. I has event inbox and I has event outbox. So for every unique database, we should have these tables because we can only ensure that a single database can handle the transaction. So for my own DB context, I have 2 DB set here. I have defined that's come from these interfaces, and I configured the database mappings. Then ABP created the tables. Actually, the database migration system created these tables for me, like ABP event box, event inbox, and ABP event outbox. Let me write a live demo for you. It will be easy, but you can understand the power of ABP's event bus system from this example. First of all, I want to create. Okay, I have an order handler. What I want to do is that whenever I receive this event, I want to publish another event that is received by the publisher application. That means first I am publishing event from the publisher to the subscriber, then subscriber publishes another event that's received by the first application. So 2 applications will communicate in this way. That's very easy. First of all, I need to inject I distributed event bus. Okay. Then I want to publish an event. Await distributed event bus. Publish new. For example, this event's name can be received order ETO. What was the order placed? Received order ETO. That's not so problem. That's not so important. And I want to set a product name property. Visual Studio completes it. Okay, I don't have this class yet. I allowed to create it. I'm moving this to the shared project because the same event transfer object should be shared between the receiver and the sender. Okay, we have a product name. That's all. The class should be public, so we can access from other libraries. Publishing an event is that simple. Let's see the receiver side. Let's create an event handler. Sorry. I want to create a new class here. What was the name? Received event, received order. Okay. Receive order handler. It should implement the distributed event handler of received order ETO. It can be transient dependency to register to the dependency injection. This interface forces us to create a handler method. And I can just write a console message. Received order with product name. That's very easy. I just created a shared class, which is published by an application and handled by the second application. Let me demonstrate it. I'm just running the subscriber. What are the world errors? I think the applications are already running and hot reload have problems. Okay, close the applications. Okay. Running again. Okay, subscriber runs and I run the publisher. Okay, placing an order with amount of 3. You see that event is sent to the message broker and second application received message. It also published a new message. You see that processed the incoming event. So this application uses the inbox pattern. So this is written by the background worker. So I can see the message written to the console application. The last one I want to show is the inbox table. Now I can see that there is one row in the inbox table because we have received the event from other application. I can see the event name here and event data. It's a binary object, no problem. We don't need to see that. And the flag that indicates that the event is processed. So it is not deleted immediately from the inbox table. The reason is that the same event can be sent by the message broker again. So we are eliminating duplicated events here. After a few hours, I'm not sure about the configuration. It may be 1 hour. The message is automatically deleted from the background worker. So it remains for a while for eliminating the duplications. My presentation was like that. It can be a little bit complicated for a community talk. Sorry for that. But I want to show this cool new feature of the ABP file. Alper, you can continue. I am taking your.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ali, for the great explanation. And I'm going through the comments. I see that we have many audience from different countries. Hi to Michael Murphy, to USA, Wisconsin. Hi to South Africa, Denver. I know some of you from support website, from Stack Overflow, or from the GitHub. And hi, Igor, to Canada. Also, Corey, I also know you from, I think, support website. And hi to Pakistan. Hello to Germany. Hi to California. Ciao, Italy, Danilo. And hello, Michael from Belgium. Bart van Hooy from Germany. Simpson from Sweden. Tim Mackey, I also know you, I think, Tim, from San Diego, the USA. Ruprecht, hi. Sweden, Florida, Chile, South Africa, Dennis from Ankara. And who else? Roberto from Italy, Jeff from California,
Yeah, it's
Alexander
so
from yeah. It doesn't end. So let's switch to the next session. And Ahmed will introduce you the static C# and JavaScript proxies. Now let's have your say, Ahmed. Maybe.
Sorry. You are muted.
Yes, you are live now.
Do you hear me?
Welcome.
Right? Hello everyone. Hello around the world, all watcher. It's really nice to be here to present a new feature to all of you. And my topic is static generated client proxies for C# and JavaScript. Let's start. The whole topic on the client and backend communication. Almost all client application require to consume some APIs from their own code, and to assure that we are using Ajax and HTTP client and manipulating or request. There's so many verbs, but ABP there is a feature in ABP. It's a dynamic C# and JavaScript proxy system. It actually solves the problem. With the system, we are able to consume HTTP APIs without any problem. We are just using the existing solution as created codes. But sometimes we need to create static proxies, static codes, and we added this feature in this version to ABP. So there are some differences between dynamic and static proxies. First, static client proxy generation, adding some performance advantage to your application, and also the client doesn't need to obtain the HTTP API definition on runtime because it's already created, and also it's easier to consume service behind an API gateway, but it's also has a bad side. When you update your API, you need to regenerate your proxies again and again. I want to show you how to convert your MVC and Blazor application from dynamic proxies to static proxies with our sample application called easyCRM. Maybe some of listener watcher already know that easyCRM. It's a or example sample application published by commercial ABP. There are some business logic, etc. Related with CRM. I just want to start our web application. Let's wait. There's a two. Actually, there's a two application for Easy CRM. One is the our whole backend and the MVC application here, and one is for a Blazor user interface. I will run the Blazor user interface also, but I just want to show you the MVC application. Yes, here, our MVC application started work. Let me check. Yep, great. So let me run the Blazor application also. Yeah, it's all the same application, but in different UI. Yep, let me open my developer console. So normally this application uses the dynamic C# and JavaScript proxies. So let me show those things. For example, this MVC application, ABP automatically creates all the JavaScript proxies at the backend. And if you navigate, if you search on your network service proxy script, you can see the generated code actually on the runtime. So as you see, there's so many generated JavaScript code, and it helps us to communicate with to the backend easily. For example, I have countries, and I have countries app service controls also. I did not code any JavaScript code, write any JavaScript code, and I am able to use my, for example, you see there's a created JavaScript code, and I am easily getting communicating backend with auto-generated code. Okay, country and get list. Then let me put the response to the console. When I run that, the JavaScript code called the backend creates a request to the backend via Ajax, and it consumes the.
Can you zoom in, Ahmed? Can you zoom in a bit?
Sure. Is it great?
Okay, good.
Yeah, I did not use any Ajax code. I just used the already created JavaScript proxy, and actually it's my best feature in ABP. It makes easy to coding. So it's the same thing also using for Blazor. And let me show the auto-generated client proxies. And for the Blazor, it uses the endpoint ABP/API definition. When I see the response, you see there's so many definition, and those are generated dynamically. So we want to convert. We added a new another approach, alternative way. They are creating on the runtime. So let's create it at the development time and don't create them on the runtime. We just want to achieve that. So we have added a new comment to ABP CLI. Let me generate for the Blazor side. Okay, here at the writer. Okay, let me open my folder. Yep. So before creating the static proxies, I want to close or deactivate dynamic proxy generation for Blazor. In my application, I'm going to HTTP API client project, and in this project there's a
Can you
small. Yep, of course. Sorry, I'm always forgetting the zooming.
No problem. Zoom. Yeah,
I
that's
think
okay.
I think it's yeah. Yeah, in the client application, there is small configuration, and as you see, context services add HTTP client proxies. What it does is actually adding the dynamic proxies for your C# .NET applications. So I just want to replace it with the add HTTP static HTTP client proxies. When I do that, and now after that, ABP will not generate the proxies on the runtime. So let me stop the Blazor application. My backend is still actively working, and I am rerunning my Blazor. And we will see the Blazor application will crash. The request will not goes to the backend.
Because we removed the automatic code generation for the C#
Exactly.
proxies. Okay.
Exactly. As you see, it's already thrown some errors. We couldn't find some app services, etc. I can't use anymore. So let's add the statically generated proxies. I'm stopping my Blazor application. To add the static proxies, my backend application must be running. So my backend application, web application is already running, and I am navigating to HTTP API client project directory. Then,
Can you zoom in?
yep, I will. Then I will writing ABP, then generate proxy. I'm defining the type, which type of which type of proxy I want to generate. Type is C#, and the U is my backend URL. For this example, my backend URL is localhost 44238. So when I run that, as you see, there are some responses in the terminal, and let's check the HTTP API client. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I generated in the wrong place. It placed it in the Blazor application. Okay, it's not a problem. I will
Just
just
delete all.
yeah, I will delete that. Okay, let's open the HTTP API client directory. I'm opening with terminal, and I am running same command. Sorry, yeah, clear it. I'm running the same command at my HTTP API client directory, project directory. Yep. Let's check. Yeah, as you see here, ABP CLI created a folder called client proxies, and it put all the generated code in under that folder. You can see what is the, for example, let's check the countries. Yeah, country client proxy. Yeah, you can see all the generated
Can you zoom
code
in?
here. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
get
what do you mean that this code is generated from the ABP CLI? If we use dynamic proxies, this is generated on runtime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
then it is now statically generated in the development time.
yes, then we will
Yeah.
use the generated code for our application. When I run my Blazor application, all the generated code will be used. It won't consume again our backend API to generate those things again on runtime. Let me prove it.
Yeah, you run it, and I give an additional info.
Mm-hmm.
ABP first make a request to the server side to get information about the services. It's like a service discovery to be able to generate dynamic proxies. With the static proxy approach, this is not needed because the service information is obtained in the development time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm waiting my application to be run. Yeah, it's coming. This is another error. When I check my API definition, it's still waiting. Yeah, I think we have another error. It happens sometimes. Let me check what's going on. I think I need, maybe it's not built. Let me stop. Okay. Yep, I'm running my backend application one more time. Okay, my backend is up.
I think build the Blazor. Yeah, right click and build before running.
Okay.
Anyway.
It should build. Interesting. Let me build it.
You cannot build while running.
No,
Just
yeah, it stopped the web project also. It's building the Blazor. Yep, I think it's built. Let me run web application again. Yes, sometimes it happens. Actually, I tried it.
live demo.
Yeah, live demo. The risky thing. Also, after the Blazor application, I will demonstrate the static API proxy generations for the MVC side. Yeah. Yeah, it's built properly, and we are able to use the static generated C# proxies. Now let me go to the CRM side. Everything works, and I want to check again the API definition. You see, there's nothing because it's not generated.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not generated on the runtime, and it's not requested. So it's for the Blazor. Let's generate the JavaScript code for the MVC application. And this is my MVC application, my backend also. I will do same thing. Before to do that, actually, let's stop the auto-generating JavaScript proxies for web. I'm closing my web application, and to assure that I'm going my web module. On the configure services phase, I will add a small configuration here. You can manually. Yeah. With that small configuration, we are disabling the dynamic JavaScript proxy generation for our application. That means it won't generate any JavaScript code. And when I run the web application, my application will crash because there's no code. Let's log in. Yeah, when I navigate the countries, nothing happens because let's check the service proxy script API also. And as you see, the previously it's generated the easy CRM related proxies are not here. because we disabled them. So let's generate our proxies manually. I'm navigating to my web application, web project directory. And here I'm opening a terminal. So yeah, I'm using exact same command, but with here I'm typing the JS for JavaScript because I'm generating for the MVC application, and it uses same backend. When I run the command, ABP CLI will generate or JavaScript proxies, and at the under the www root folder, yeah, here we can see the under the client proxies folder and app proxies.js under the www root. So all the related code are generated. So how we can use it? We can manually add it to the, for example, countries index page. Here I can add that as with the ABP script. Let me close it. Yep. Client proxies and app proxies. So after that, ABP will not regenerate our proxies and will use the static JavaScript code. Let me navigate the countries. Yeah, everything works. And in the countries page, I am able to use again my generated codes. As you can see here, everything stays here, and it's not comes from the service proxy script. You see, the response is so small, but you can see here the app proxy loaded via just static as a static file. So that's all for my presentation.
Thank you, Ahmet. And for a quick question, Don Potts is asking, is Easy CRM has been updated to 5?
Not, yeah, it's updated to 5.0 version, but my project is not. It's using the release candidate version. We will update it to the stable and we'll share our community.
Okay, thank you. So as a reminder, we will take your questions at the end. So if you ask your questions at the end, they won't get lost in the middle. The next session will be Angular UI changes. Hi, thank you. The next session is about Angular UI changes and news. As you know, Angular 12 is there. We have updated our templates to Angular 12. While the Angular has its own enhancements, we also improved our Angular UI templates. Mehmet will introduce you the new things about Angular changes. So Mehmet, we are listening to you.
Hi everybody, I'm Mehmet from the ABP Angular UI team. Today I'm going to talk about Angular changes in the ABP version 5. First of all, I want to mention the Angular 12 update. ABP Angular UI startup templates have been upgraded to the Angular 12. You need to update your project to Angular 12. Updating is usually very easy. Angular team has created a guide called Angular Update Guide, which contains each version update information. You will probably run an ng update command, and that's all. Your project will be upgraded to Angular 12. Okay, next, we started to compile the Angular UI libraries with Ivy. So with the Ivy compilation, Angular compatibility compiler, I mean NGCC, will not compile our packages. I mean, when you install the node modules, the NGCC needs to compile the installed packages, but NGCC does not compile the NGCC does not compile the packages which are compiled with the IO. So this change will speed up the NGCC process. Angular was using View Engine before the IO. With the Angular 12, View Engine support has been deprecated. View Engine support will be removed in the future. Unfortunately, we couldn't upgrade to the Angular 13 during version 5 milestone. There are some breaking issues with the Angular 13. On the hand, our dependent libraries like ng Bootstrap. We are waiting for next versions of the Angular and the other dependent libraries to support Angular 13. The second feature is Bootstrap 5. We updated Bootstrap to version 5 and updated ng Bootstrap package. There are some breaking changes due to this update. I'll talk about these in the next slides. Previously, Bootstrap did not officially support right to left. We were used an external CSS file to provide RTL support. As of version 5, we have removed the external CSS file and imported the official RTL CSS file from the Bootstrap npm package. Okay. New proxy secondary entry points. Let me explain the secondary entry points. Besides the primary entry point, a package can contain one or more secondary entry points. For example, Angular/core is a primary entry point. Angular/core/testing is a secondary entry point. We have added new proxy entry points to some Angular UI packages. Before the version 5, we placed a module's proxies, the primary entry point of relevant module. As of version 5, we moved the proxies to relevant module's proxy entry point. With this change, you can import a service from the new entry point. Actually, we aimed to better developer experience and keep your bundle size small. Let me explain the bundle size issue. When you import something from the primary entry point of a lazy package, the bundle size may increase so much. Well, next notable feature is UI localizations. Localizations can now be defined on the UI side. Let's watch the video and see how it can be done. I have a localization key in this sample. I placed that key to the home component. I want to localize that. Just go to the app module file and pass your localizations to the for root of the core module.
Can you zoom in,
that's
Mehmet?
I'm sorry, I can't. I think I can.
Yeah, it's a video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's very simple. Okay. Breaking chains. I said that Angular UI packages started to compile with Ivy. That's why you need to update your project to Angular 12. ABP Angular UI is not compatible with Angular 13 yet due to some issues. It will probably be supported in the version 5.1. There are some breaking changes due to Bootstrap 5 update. You can check the Bootstrap 5 official migration guide and our migration guide. There was Bootstrap RTL CSS file into the Angular UI team shared package. As of version 5, this file has removed. You have to change a style file in the Angular JSON file. Next, ngXS has been removed, hold states, actions, etc. We aim to make the Angular UI free of any state management solutions. ABP developers should be able to use the ABP framework with any library or framework of their choice. So that's why we decided to remove NGXS from the ABP packages. If you want to use the NGXS after upgrading to version 5, you should install the NGXS npm package, or if you don't want to use it, you can remove all NGXS imports from your project. Before, the Angular/localize package is a dependency of the Angular UI core package. As of version 5, it has been removed from the core dependencies. So this package must be installed in your app. I mentioned the new secondary entry points. Generated entry points before the version 5 have moved to relevant packages proxy entry point. So, for example, if you import the identity user service from primary entry point of the identity package, you need to update your import path. I suggest you take a look at the Angular UI migration guide. You will find more details there. Thank you for listening. That's all.
Thank you, Mehmet. From the chat, I see some of you are asking how to get the T-shirt that's on me, and we also have some other ABP stuff like ABP hats. We also would like to deliver these to you. We sometimes visit conferences, and in that case, we give these swags. But as you know, the pandemic situations, we are not attending physically to the conferences now. But we are thinking how to deliver these things to our community. And if we find a suitable way, we will give to ABP funds. So next, we have eShop on ABP. As you know, developing a microservice solution is hard. We get many questions about the practices of developing a microservice project. eShop and ABP is a showcase on how to organize things with a microservice architected solution on top of ABP. In this session, Enis and Galip will explain you why they need to create a new microservice sample project. So Galip, what's this eShop on ABP?
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone from all around the world. Now I will be giving you a small teaser trailer for eShop on ABP, and we will talk about what the eShop on ABP about. My friend Enis will be helping to me as well. So Enis, let's talk about what is the eShop on ABP and what's beneath this.
Hello, Gal. Let's talk about what is the eShop on ABP. We are happy to introduce to you a new project named eShop on ABP. I think most of you heard about eShop on Containers by Microsoft. It's a good example of how to develop a microservice solution. And this is how we do in ABP style. It's a short description. In a short description, it's an example to demonstrate how to build a microservice solution with power of ABP framework. Let me show you some structure about project. We have services, gateway, and apps category, and you can see we have only 3 public apps: authentication server, public website built with MVC, and Angular application. And you can see we have gateways, 2 gateways, and we have a couple of services which operates the main logic. And it has different database we used that in example. Let's talk about.
It seems we have a back office application in here as well as an Angular application, right?
Of course. The MVC public website is for users, end users, but Angular application is a dashboard. It's like admin dashboard. It's management dashboard. It will be include management pages like product management, stock management, or order management. We have 2 of application different than eShop on containers. So it's a good solution, but Why people need to be interested in eShop on ABP? Galip, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this was one of the most requested feature from the community. That was a public demonstration of a microservice approach using ABP for an end user application. We had all pieces around for building applications or modules, but we need a really nice demonstration like eShop on Dapper or eShop on Contains in an ABP style, like we have mentioned. So that's why we created this repository. We want to demonstrate in an open source code to how to create this famous eShop application using the ABP framework, but not just only the ABP framework. We also be using the best practices of domain-driven design, where we can use ABP's many other features. And we want this to be used as a guide, so we can create documentation or guides so that people can look and move. You will also notice that it's not exactly the same eShop sample. We are adding something more, like we have shown a back office application as a standout alone application also. We also have a different solution structure and architecture. We have our test applications, layered services. We will also be using the module architecture. So ABP developers will be familiar with this module architecture. And also it will be a nice guide for the new ABP community members. We will also demonstrate how we provide solutions to some of the microservice complexities, such as inter-service communication using synchronized connections, or async using event bus. Also the complicated problem solution where Halil showed us the inbox outbox pattern. We will implement this and use in a business case. We will also create business-related custom repositories, application layer, domain services, implementations, test, aggregate routes and patterns, and one of the other most important piece, the deployment. That's what we want to also show. So please advise us about which technologies we'll be using in this stack.
This is a good point, because most of developers cares about which technology is used. We can surely say that we are using all the modern technologies, such as we are using ABP templates to creating our projects, modules, and services. And of course, we are using End framework to access data. This is a good point. Angular and Identity Server as an application stack. In the data layer, we are using PostgreSQL, MongoDB, and Redis. We are using those technologies to store data, and we use Ocelot in here as a gateway. We are planning to introduce other gateway technologies, but currently we are using Ocelot. Also Swagger and RabbitMQ for inter-service communication. And deployment, as Galip says, will explain how we deploy that. Docker, Kubernetes, and Helm charts we are using for deployment. We can surely say all the modern technologies are used in eShop on ABP project. But what about deployment? We talk about
let's talk more about deployment.
Let's talk about deployment. How we deploy that?
Deployment was kind of our soft spot in our supports, especially when we are getting lots of questions about deployment errors. We were not able to help fully because we had some missing pieces of knowledge in this field. So we had to learn from scratch as well, even if it's not complete in our focus. But now we are getting better and better to help our community. And at this moment, we have created 2 ways to create Docker images for both locally and multi-stage. This means if you want to create your Docker images locally, you need to have a SDK, and you just run a PowerShell script, and it will just one by one search and publish your application, and just copy this for the Docker files. So it will be very fast.
Can I run it without Docker in my local computer? Is there any easiest way?
Yeah, there's also a multi-stage Docker files, so where you don't need an SDK. All the Docker images will be just built in Docker containers, and this is more this is more friendly for CI/CD pipelines, where you can just run it. Also, we are supporting local Kubernetes. We have also created Helm charts for deployments. So each application has own Helm templates. Also, it has a main Helm template as well. So you can either individually deploy any chart of any application, or you can deploy the main chart and overriding any values. So this will also help you about overriding environments and where you add your environments to your deployment. And you can use, you will be able to use as you wish. This is all as I want to say about deployment. But we can talk about what about development solution like this. We can inform us about this, please, Enis.
Yeah, as Alper says, developing a microservice solution is really hard. How people can do that? You can learn from our sample. It's already open source in GitHub. You can find it, the link under our framework page, ABP framework / eShop on ABP. Also, you can give us a star to make it more common. You can clone our repository and review that, and you can build your application on our demo, but you need to change most of things. But it's an option. You can learn from our sample. But is there any magical way to create a microservice solution or add a new services to your microservice solution? Yes, we have another way. Instead of creating applications one by one, you can use our startup template, but it's included in ABP Commercial right now. Our commercial users can use that template, and they can add new services into their microservice solution. It's provided by ABP Commercial, but you can access our eShop and ABP sample still in its open source. Roadmap.
A microservice template can be created by using ABP, the suite, and both CLI, right?
Yeah, right. You can use both of them. You can use ABP suite and you can use ABP CLI. Both of them has the commands. It's easy to build a microservice solution with ABP Commercial. Roadmap. What is next?
Yeah, let's talk about our roadmap.
Have we done? Yeah, what we have done until now and what will we do next? Galip, can you explain us what we did?
Yeah, now? We were mostly working on. I was mostly working on the deployment scenarios, and such as you have also created business services, and we started building our business logic now, since we have already decided the infrastructural side. So we also added the payment module, payment service. Now we are working on basket, catalog, and order services as a business services. We are planning about management sites as well. So as you remember, we will have a back office application as an Angular application. So there will be, we are planning a Lepton X Lite implementation for that, where you will just see the presentation of Bünyamin. Lepton X Lite is coming. So these are currently our roadmap, and this will get updated. Stay tuned and follow us on GitHub. We are back to you, Alper.
Okay, thank you guys for your time. And next, we have the new Lepton X session. As you know, we have been developing Lepton theme since the first versions of ABP. And now we are excited to announce our new theme, Lepton X. Bünyamin from the ABP Angular team will tell us the new theme. So we will have Bünyamin right now. What will you tell us about this new theme, Bünyamin?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the introduction, Albert. Let's get started. Okay. So today I will talk about the new Lepton X theme. But before doing that, I want to talk about the existing theme that you've been using for a long time, Lepton. So what does Lepton mean? The dictionary says that any of a family of elementary particles that participates in the weak interaction, including the electron and its associated neutrino. So it's basically subatomic particles. And why did we choose this name? Because of the atomic design principles. Atomic design principles tells you that your application should have components, smallest components possible, like atoms and like inputs, labels, buttons, I don't know, like the smallest web elements that you can think of. And when you put these atoms together, you get molecules which converted into organism templates and so on. And with atomic design principles in mind, we decided to name our project Lepton. And you all know that Lepton comes with predefined template, predefined colors like these ones. There's a dark theme. There's this light ones on the bottom. Like you can choose any of them. You can use these templates with your commercial templates. But Lepton has never come to a point that we want it to be. So we decided to rewrite the entire project. Why did we do that? Let's talk about that. So Lepton has been only ABP. So you can use it with ABP templates, but not a standalone template yet. Let's say you have this project that is written in Java or I don't know what, something else, and you want to use Lepton, you can't really do that. It's ABP only. And there is the prime predefined themes I just showed you that are not being used by many because these colors do not fit you. I know that all of you work for different companies, and your company has different branding, colors, requirements, and those colors or shadows or borders, I don't know, whatever Lepton has, do not really fit your application, and so that you need to overwrite these colors and borders and everything Lepton provides. But we know that it's hard to customize. We have seen so many questions in the support forum that how to overwrite Lepton, how to change colors, how to, I don't know, write CSS for it. And if you have the commercial license for be able to download the source code, you can use CSS files to overwrite Lepton, but it's still not that easy. And it's kind of outdated. So we want a fresh start with a fresh design, and we want to solve these problems. So, all right. So this is the very first design that our lead designer Arman showed us. He said that we won't have so many predefined colors. We will have only few: dark, as you can see right here, light, and semi-dark. So with this layout, we will have a side menu as you always, and a toolbar on the right side. This is new. We haven't done this in the past, so this is the new feature we are introducing right now. So as you can see, there's a user menu right on the top right of the screen, and there are some icons that will be related to content being displayed on the middle, and on the right hand side on the bottom you can see there's this setting context menu that you can change the container width, language, or appearance, whatever you want, and you will be able to add your own settings on this section. Okay, so we said let's start simple. But what kind of themes we will have? We will have dark theme or semi-dark and light. That's it. That's the only color options we will have. And so because everyone is using dark themes, like you can use that dark theme in your browser, mobile applications, even operating system support these. So these are the main themes that everyone is using these days. So we want to support these, but we want to also provide a theme builder that you can build your own theme with. Let's say you want to change these colors, you should be able to do it really fast and easy without writing much code, because we value your time, and developer time is the most valuable thing we have. So we started with these three themes: dark, dim, light. This is the one aspect of Lepton X. And then we said, okay, what was the first problem? It was ABP only. So we want to provide plain good old HTML, JavaScript, CSS, no ABP related, just good old template. You can download it, edit it, and integrate it into any technology you want. But we didn't stop there. We also said that we should provide this as an Angular template. Just like the first one, there is an Angular project that is written with Lepton X. It has demo pages, components, etc. You can download it, edit it, and use it however you see fit. But the problem with templates, when you download a template and start editing it, you kind of forking your own project. So you're kind of moving away from the original template. Even if there are new versions, new features or fixes, it's kind of hard to upgrade your own template. So we said, okay, we should provide this Angular as a library, so you can upgrade your template by just upgrading the version. So there's this also another aspect that it can be used as a library into an Angular project. And UI framework, obviously we chose Bootstrap, but in the future we may add more. I'm not saying we will. We are still thinking about this, but we want to be able to have flexibility that it can be used with other UI frameworks. So the left, this part is independent from Bootstrap. So we can ideally we can switch Bootstrap with something else. Layout. So we said that okay, there should be the side menu looks cool, but not everyone is gonna like that. So we should be able to switch these layouts from one to another without changing the content. So there's side menu, top menu, and in the future there could be more. Okay, as you can see, all of the things I have shown you have nothing to do with ABP. So how does ABP users will benefit from these features? Obviously, we write adapter packages for Angular, MVC, and Blazor. Okay, great. So if you are using ABP framework, and doesn't matter which client you use, you should be able to use Lepton X, just like you've been using Lepton. Okay, what about licensing? You may ask. Okay, all of these sounds cool, but obviously this is a commercial product, so it can only be used by commercial users. But there's a but coming. Old Lepton, there was one thing that old Lepton has never been. It has never been free. So there is a light version for all of this that you can be able to download for free and use it in your open source templates. Just like Galip mentioned that the eShop on ABP will use this light version. So what does the light will include? Let's see that. Okay, so it will include only the dim or semi-dark front theming. It will provide these as well, but a small subset of these features, not everything, but most of the features provided here will be available with light version. Obviously, framework for Bootstrap, it's also use Bootstrap, and from layout, it's gonna use side menu for now, but in the future we may add more. And all of the clients will have light versions as well. So when you put all of these together and many more, you get the new project Lepton X, and this is our new logo. Great. Now I know that you've been asking us that, like, how can we use it? Is there an MVC client? How can we access the source code? We want to download the source code. We want to look at it, use it, etc. I know that you guys have been impatient, but don't worry, it's almost here. Not quite, but almost here. So we are working on a beta version that will be released really soon. So it will include all of this box, theming, dark, dim, light, and theme builder. And the templates are not quite yet ready yet. There are still some work to do on these templates, but once it's ready, you will be able to download it and use it. And framework, you will be able to use Bootstrap, obviously. And there will be only side menu with version 1, but we will work on the top menu right after we release the stable version. And all of the clients will be available. I know that some of you wanted to use Lepton X with MVC, but haven't been able to do so because we haven't released any version with MVC and Blazor. And Pro and Lite versions will be available soon. Right now, we have released one alpha version with Angular for ABP 4 and Bootstrap 4. So if you are using ABP 4 and Bootstrap 4, obviously, you can download Angular as a client choice. You can download Lepton X and try it out with alpha version. But all of these will be available with ABP for ABP 5 and Bootstrap 5 with version 1.1 0.0 beta 1. Okay, let's look at a quick demo, right? Let's see how it looks like. Just a really brief demo, and we will move on. First, I want to show you a code. Okay, so let me zoom in. Okay, is it good enough? I think so, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have created 2 projects with ABP 5. There's one commercial app and a free app. As I mentioned, that it's a complete rewrite. We have written it from scratch. It started from a blank project, and we have written everything from scratch. But that doesn't mean that you should the migration will be hard. We also worked so hard that migration should be as easy as possible. Let me show you how. You can just download the package and do little configuration on Angular JSON file. But the only thing that you really need to change is go to app module. And if you are using open source template, you should have a theme basic module and just remove it. Excuse me. Import theme Lepton X module and whatever layout you want to use. In the previous version, Lepton, you were able to change the layout on the runtime, but here we need you to decide on the layout you want to use on the development time. And if you are using resource owner password flow, which means that if you are developing your login, register, and forgot password authentication pages on Angular, you need to import this line as well. So that's it. That's the only thing you need to do to switch between Lepton to Lepton X. Just remove the old one and import new ones. That's it. And the commercial is the same. And since I'm an Angular guy, I'm running this demo on Angular, but don't worry, it works just the same with MVC and Blazor. It's just the same. Remove the theme Lepton module for commercial and import these 3 lines. That's it. Let's see how it looks like. So, okay, this is the light version. As you may remember that the open source template didn't have any theme, or just it's theme basics. I mean, you can't really use it. You need to implement your own theme. But Lepton Light, it's pretty nice. It's the colors and the looks. It's really nice. So you can use this Lepton X for your production as well. And there's this little icon here. If you click on it, it'll shrink the menu. And you need, if you have a square logo, it'll come right here. And if you hover over it, and you can switch it back on. Let's go to a page like roles. So this is role page, and there's this new breadcrumb on the top, and it shows that the same depth. So there are roles and users right next to each other. You are able to switch between them right here. Like you can, just think of it as a window explorer, right? If you're navigating through folders, you can click on this little thing here, and then you can see other folders. So we want to implement this new cool feature for Lepton Light, and this is. And let's look at the. Let me put this on the side, and this is the mobile view of Lepton X Lite. It's pretty cool, right? It looks nice. You can use this with your project, even if you can even use it in production. You just need to change this logo and some colors, and it's good to go. Let's look at the commercial app. So this is the commercial app. This is dark theme, and it has one extra feature on this menu. As I said, that the light version will have less features, not subset of features, but there won't be a lot of differences. They're just slight differences to make it so that it makes sense to use the commercial product. Let's say I will write here and user, and it filters the menu. And there's this user menu right here, and there's the settings on the bottom. Like you can change the semi-dark, light, or let's go back to semi-dark. I like this one a lot. And you can change this box layout, full width. You can change the language here. It will refresh the page, but let's change it back to English. And and if you can filter through menu. And I want to show you one more thing. With new Lepton X, we want to have users a better mobile experience. So all of the applications you use, native mobile applications you use right now, has this top bottom menu. So this feels like a native application when displayed on a mobile device. So the first two items of the menu will come here, or you can even change this. You can decide on which items will go here, will be displayed down here, and the rest of the menu will be displayed here. You can open it and see it right here. And the settings and the user menu will work just the same. And you can change dark. You can change it to semi-dark and so on. So this is the brief demo I want to show you. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so obviously we want feedback. This is still we are still working on a beta version, and there are still a lot of features to work on, bugs to fix, and we don't know that what you guys have been developing with your own project. So we want you to try it on. Once it's available, it's coming very soon, and give us feedback on this repo. So we will use this repo for a while, not for long. So once we release the stable version, we will close this repo and we will go back to the support forum or open source GitHub repos. But now that we want to move forward fast, we want to use this repo to collect feedbacks and bug reports from you guys, so that we can work on it fast and then we can release stable versions. So let's talk about roadmap. We will release the beta one really soon, and we want to release the stable version right after that. And by ABP version 5.1, we want to switch from Lepton to Lepton X as a default theme, and we will work on the top menu layouts, and there will be more custom components, and we want to integrate more third-party libraries so that if you like using some library that we haven't thought of, it'll look nice and it'll play nicely with Lepton X. And we will work on these application pages like chat, rating, pricing, invoice, calendar, etc. And we will work on public website layouts and so on. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Benjamin. The new theme looks very promising. I hope everyone will love the new theme. We are approaching the end. Keep your questions. We will get them at the end. The next is breaking changes and migration guide, and I will explain you some of the important breaking changes with ABP 5 and how you can migrate to the latest version. And lastly, I will share some community links and news about us. As you know, Microsoft has just shipped the .NET 6 framework. The .NET 6 comes with many features and updates. Hot reload improvements, rigid compiler, runtime performance boosts, and early builds of MAU, which is the new generation of the Xamarin project. The major update coming with ABP 5 is the .NET 6 upgrade. We have adopted to the .NET 6 the stable version, and we have upgraded all our templates and all libraries to the latest .NET. And we are one of the first adopters of .NET 6. Our ABP IO websites have been running on .NET 6 since the first preview version. Check out the Richard's blog post. Richard is from the .NET team for .NET 6 features and enhancements. Well, if you are planning to migrate from ABP 4 to 5, there are some changes. I will briefly tell you about them. First of all, with .NET 6 upgrade, you need to install the latest Visual Studio 2022 or Rider 2021.3. There is Bootstrap 5 upgrade. As you may know, Bootstrap 5, the stable version, has been released on May 5. And as a major change from the previous versions, jQuery is no longer dependent of Bootstrap. RTL support has been added, and Internet Explorer 10 and 12, 11 support dropped. There is a new responsive font came, and the package is lighter now. Also, there are new APIs available. Some classes, CSS classes, are dropped in Bootstrap 5. There are replacements or ways to achieve the same result, like data attributes transformed to data BS. In the new ABP templates, we have applied these changes and successfully migrated to Bootstrap 5. Check out the Bootstrap 5's blog post for more information. ABP 5 uses Bootstrap 5 as the fundamental HTML CSS framework. We have migrated all the UI themes, tag helpers, UI components, and the pages of the pre-built application modules. You may need to update your own pages by following the Bootstrap's migration guide. And the startup template change, you don't need to apply all these changes, but it's strongly suggested to follow this guide and make the necessary changes for your solution. And we have a MongoDB update. ABP framework will serialize the date time from now on. If you don't want, you can revert back this behavior. And we are now publishing auto events in the same unit of work. Local and distributed auto events are handled in the same unit of work now. And there are some deprecated data. These entity events are deprecated. If you have used the deprecated events, see this GitHub issue to learn more. Also, we have made the iRepository obsolete in 4.2, and now iRepository doesn't inherit from iQueryable anymore. We are automatically setting the tenant ID for the new entities. Beginning from the ABP 5, ABP automatically sets the tenant ID for you when you create a new entity object. As you may know, you were setting it manually for the active tenant, but now the tenant ID is set from the current value of the iCurrent tenant ID property. This may be a breaking change in rare cases. For example, if you create host-side entities from a tenant context and don't explicitly set host entities tenant ID to null. Also, there is a new property on the identity user entity is active state. It's a Boolean state. The flag will be checked during the authentication of the users. So for the EF core, you developers need to add a new database migration to update their databases, because after the database migration, set this property to true for the existing users. Otherwise, none of the users can log into the application. This is important. For MongoDB, you need to update the is active field for the existing users in the database. You can use the following script in Mongo shell. And we have migration guides for all the UI types for Angular, MVC, and Blazor. You can check out the related links for migration guides for your website. And for the complete ABP 5 migration guide, you can check out this link. Next, we have community links. I have some news about us and have got community links for you. You can ask questions in the chat. After this session, I will jump into those, and then we will head over to Halil and other team members for the questions and answers section. So we are really happy to be one of the sponsors of the .NET Foundation. We are proud to support other open source projects by being a corporate sponsor. And ABP reaches 7K stars. This is another surprising, maybe now it's more. We knocked over 7,000 stars. This shows us how fast our community is growing. So thank you all for this stuff. And ABP community grows thanks to Dilan Simila. In this regard, events are also held around the world. Dilan Simila gave a presentation on introduction to ABP in Paris. Thanks for his session. There is learnabpframework.com, and our members regularly ask video courses. I know how useful video courses are. Learnabpframework.com helps you here. I would like to say it doesn't belong to ABP IO platform. One of our community members created this website. It provides paid and free ABP framework trainings. It provides premium screencasts and build application and modules. Go check out learnabpframework.com. Ismail from Indonesia dressed the admin LTE theme on ABP application template. You can check out his work from his GitHub repository. Also, another theme implementation is Tisla template. It's a bootstrap-based admin template, and Liang from China dressed ABP framework with this template. Go check out his work on his GitHub repository. And as you know, we have community.abp.io, and we have lots of ABP community articles here and videos as well. I picked some of them. So if you want to learn how to set up an Azure Active Directory and integrate it to your ABP Angular application, you can check out Galip's post. Anto Subash written an article about how to add a new module to your ABP application. Also, deploying is another headache. We get some questions about deploying ABP application. Anto has a video post about this to deploy to Docker Swarm. So changing UI theme is also a frequently asked question. You can check Anto's video for more information. Also, many-to-many relationship. I know it's not related to ABP. Many-to-many relationship is an EF core thing, but it's mainly asked to us. And Engin has an article about this. I think he created a bookstore application with many-to-many relationship. Also, Albert has a new article about how to create a Windows service with ABP framework for those who want to create old-style Windows services. Also, Bart Van Hooy, I think he is here in the chat. He has an article about deploying ABP applications to Azure. Mehmet has an article about how to use PrimeNG components. PrimeNG is also a popular one. Also, Muhammad has an article about Angular material components with the ABP framework. Some of you are asking me about integrating a workflow or creating a workflow module in ABP. There is ELSA workflow. it has many stars on GitHub, and it's very popular. Creating a workflow within our team will be not good as ELSA workflow. So Engin Can has an article about integrating ELSA workflow to the ABP framework. DevExpress is another popular tool component studio, and Berkan has written an article about integrating DevExpress Blazor UI components with the ABP framework. The next thing is a book about ABP framework. We have never told this anywhere. Mastering ABP framework, build maintainable .NET solutions by implementing software development best practices. Halil, the lead developer, has been writing a book for the ABP framework. Mastering ABP framework is a complete guide to start working with the ABP framework. In this book, you can see the fundamentals of ABP framework and learn how to implement software development with best practices. It's now on pre-sale on Amazon. Next, it's related about us. We are hiring. If you visit volosoft.com/career website, we have many open positions. And if you are interested in, we would like to see you in our team to reach great communities and make it bigger community. We want to write more articles, video courses, tutorials. Therefore, we need developer advocates, .NET developers, DevOps engineers, Angular UI developers, and many more. Send your CV to hr.volosoft.com to apply one of these positions. And lastly, yeah, we are in the end. Thank you for listening and taking time to listen to us. I have shared all the links I showed you in this session in this link. You can go and check out all the links after the session. Now, if you have questions, we would like to answer them.
Okay, we are getting the first question from John. Thinking about new mobile application template for .NET MOUU rather than React Native. Actually, we haven't worked with that yet, but this is one of the idea to provide a secondary mobile UI or replace React Native if it's not used widely. Yeah, that can be an option, but it's not started yet. Next question. No, we haven't worked to create dynamic form for Blazor yet. CQRS?
Not yet, but we have plans on it. We have very serious plans about implementing CQRS, but it will take some time, and we need to work on that a bit more.
One of the most popular questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the best way to create reports from different microservices database data application? Yeah, it's a generic question, actually, not directly related to ABP. There are some patterns. Actually, it's a long topic to answer here.
Okay, there is a question about creating a Discord or Slack channel for ABP community. I think we have GitHub discussions for this. Maybe you can write it and share your ideas on GitHub discussions of the ABP framework, the open source side.
Can the easy CRM application sample converted to MS SQL? Ahmet, it's currently using SQLite?
Yeah, it's currently using SQLite, but it's just
is it easy?
The provider. Yes, it's.
Can you take note and write a simple article to show it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I will work on it.
That's easy actually, but we may create a simple article for that.
I'm getting another question. Sorry. Will there become a job platform for ABP developers? Yes. We are planning for this to meet the developers with the business owners. It will be also good for all of you.
It's a good question. How difficult is to switch to ABP5 if we have many custom pages? Actually, it's based on the UI type you are using. For example, if you are using MVC and use it tag helpers and just bootstrap standard bootstrap components, then it's not too hard. You just need to make change for the custom bootstrap style users. If you have used tag helpers, ABP automatically switches it. But for your custom style usage, yes, you need to change your custom styling based on Bootstrap 5. The big issue is Bootstrap 5 switch. For the Blazor side, for example, we are using Blazor RISE library. It has no breaking change, as I know, or maybe very small. So for the UI part, it's easy to switch. That's not too hard, but it's related to how much you have used the native Bootstrap 5, Bootstrap 4.
I think there's another question about ABP Suite. Is there any improvement? Yes, there is an improvement with the 5 version. As you know, the Microsoft has dropped DB first approach, but it's a very common last question. ABP Suite now can connect to your existing database table and then create the page from your table. So it's some kind of DB first approach. It can connect to any database and create metadata and then create your CRUD page. That's the only thing I can say about it.
Another question, do you have a plan to build a CMS like WordPress on ABP? What do you say, Enis, about that?
Yeah, it's not it's
We
not
actually
a
have a
competitor
CMS
of
project.
WordPress. Yeah, we have, but it's not a competitor of WordPress. It's a huge platform, but we provide some CMS features to bring your application. For example, comments, pages, blog posts, and reactions, ratings. You can attach them into your custom entities, into your entities. But we can create a demo how you can develop a CMS like website. We can provide a demo, but it's not in our plans. Maybe we can.
Okay.
Yeah,
CMS like WordPress is not an easy job, and it's not actually our job. But with our CMS Kit project, we are providing building blocks of common CMS components, like as Enis said, like comments, text, page, blog posts, and so on. You can reuse these components; they are reusable, and improve they based on your requirements. I think you can create a content management system, but if you want to use it as an end user, just use WordPress. If you want to include CMS features into your own application, CMS Kit is very good.
We have a question about impersonation. I think I missed the question. I'm sharing the impersonation GitHub issue. It's already closed. I think it will ship with ABP5. What do you think, Ali?
Impersonation infrastructure has been developed in the ABP framework side, but we are considering it as a commercial feature, and it has been shipped with ABP Commercial 5. So I can say that. For the next question, Can we purchase ABP suite without purchase? No, there is no option yet. Any plans to include any type of reports framework to define custom reports and dashboards? Actually, we are considering reporting is another area, and we are not planning to include a reporting system yet. But we will prepare some demo that shows how it's integrated with Power BI and some other tools.
Yeah, we have.
You can already use. Have we article?
We have articles about reporting, and such as DevExpress reporting with source code.
So there is already an article
integration.
on ABP Community.
Yeah, we have an article about DevExpress integration for reporting, and also the most popular tool, Power BI from the Microsoft. We have an I think some process. Yeah, it's ongoing. We will write an article about integrating Power BI, but we will not make a reporting tool because it's another business.
We will create articles about how to integrate with so many different things, but the implementation depends on users.
Okay, good question. Any plan to decouple UI from Bootstrap? For now, no. Decoupling UI from a particular HTML and CSS framework is not easy. It requires to create an entire abstraction of all the components. So it's not in the plan, actually.
What about Lepton X? Is there a goal decoupling from Bootstrap?
No, actually, it's not. Actually,
in a long term,
Lepton X layout is decoupled from Bootstrap. It's a generic, and it has been built with plain JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. But the implementation with the ABP framework still depends on the Bootstrap for now.
Yeah, Lepton X can use another framework, but the ABP packages use Bootstrap components. So maybe in the future, it's a hard issue.
Yeah, there is an interesting question. Is the long-term vision for ABP to remain with a layered architecture, or will we see better support for feature vertical thin slicing in the future? Actually, ABP frameworks infrastructure is not coupled to layered architecture. You can just create a single layer project. That's an article that Ahmet is currently working on. He's creating an ABP community article that will demonstrate how you can create a single layer, single project solution with the ABP framework that does exactly the same with the startup template that's layered.
To who want to get that solution, actually we publish it on ABP samples repository. I will provide a link at the chat. You can check the single layer ABP framework application.
We can tell the identity server replacement, maybe. I will write.
Okay. Yes. It's not clearly decided yet. We are thinking about that for a long while. One option can be abstracting the identity server. It's a little bit hard, but maybe the best option to completely abstract the authentication system. Actually, it's mostly abstracted from the framework level, but we should work on that. Currently, there is no very clear decision. We have some options, and will be explained in the next releases and in the next months. We will share with the community. Okay. Do you have a marketplace plan for ABP? Yes, we have, but we currently are working hard to create an open modularity system. That means anyone can publish reusable modules to anywhere. Then anyone can install these modules to their applications. we are working hard for such a flexible modularity, module install and uninstall system. Then we will have a marketplace for open source and commercial modules, but it takes time. One other question, do you have a plugin with library dependencies sample? There is no such a sample, I think. There is a documentation with plugin modules. But yeah, we may create an article about that. I will think about that. Okay.
I take another question. How difficult is to switch to ABP5 if you have many custom pages?
Answered.
Sorry.
Well, the latest question is that there should be a way to install modules and runtime. Actually, installing modules and at runtime is a different topic. We haven't invested time about that. ABP's modularity is development time modularity. It's not like a WordPress. And also, .NET is not such a dynamic, to be honest, like PHP. So we haven't worked on that. It's a long-term. It can be a long-term goal. Yeah, I think Alper, we have completed the two hours. We can close.
Yeah, if you don't have any new questions, Corey is asking about creating a Volo store so he can purchase a swag.
I don't know if community buys it. Why not?
Corey, send your address to info@abp.io.
There is a GraphQL question, a good question. No, we have no GraphQL in the short-term plan. It's in the roadmap actually, but implementing GraphQL is currently possible. You can just use. We will consider if we can add a value on top of the GraphQL, but currently you can use just as is as like any .NET project. We haven't any problem with GraphQL or any infrastructure special to it. Yeah, ABP already works with .NET minimal APIs. I think we will create an article like that. In the Ahmet's single layer article, we will use the minimal API approach.
We will use it.
Yeah, it's already usable.
Mm-hmm. I want to say one thing. Yeah, the contribution is not. We really appreciate if you contribute the ABP framework. We are working hardly on them, but the community is also can contribute. That contribution is not about only coding. You can translate to your own language whole ABP documentation. It will really help ABP also.
React or Vue template plans.
I can say a couple of things about this one if you want.
Yeah, please.
We are already providing 3 different clients, MVC, Blazor, Angular, and maintaining and adding features for all of those. All of those are really hard and taking a lot of time. And adding one more template would like quadruple our time, the work on the features. But maybe in the future we could add React or Vue templates. But right now we have higher priority issues to work on. So maybe in the future, but I guess not right now, right?
Yeah, it's not an easy question to answer here. Yeah, you may create an issue on GitHub and we can share our idea. Can we change implementation?
Can build complex forms using ABP Suite? No, ABP Suite has a template and it generates code using these templates. You may need to customize after the generation.
Another question, can we change implementation of a class interface on runtime? Yeah, actually, that's not so related to ABP. If you have multiple implementation of the same interface, you can create a registration with the factory method registration, and you can conditionally return the implementation based on some configuration or runtime value. This is related to dependency injection of ASP.NET Core. Okay, I think we will have more questions, but we should finish because we and also people are tired. 2 hours is very long. We will have meeting in every month from now. Actually, we may have meetings more than one time in a month. We have a lot of idea to talk with, like microservice development, modular development, and based on your questions and requests from GitHub and so on. So we will have more meetups in the next months. Alper, you can close or?
Yeah, I would like to say if you also want to participate in these sessions, and if you have anything about to say, or if you have implemented anything new on top of ABP framework, we can have you as a guest in these sessions. So thank you for all, and thanks for having time with us. We are in the end, so bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye bye.
Have a good one.
See you in the next community talk.